Hey guys, in this video I just wanted to tell you about a couple books I've been reading. So much information, I'm so excited about them, but there's just no way I can impart all of the good stuff. So I want to throw some of them out there and have you go get them and start reading them. First one, such an easy read. It has so many fun stories, cute stories, is Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he tells about his first business when he was age 9, and they went around the neighborhood collecting the old toothpaste tubes. They boiled down the metal and they made a plaster of Paris stamp of money, and they started making money. And they got shut down their first day in business by their dad, but that was their first idea. And he said, you know what, you're closer than you think. You can't actually print money because that's illegal, but that's what you want to do. You want to buy a piece of property that's way below market value, fix it up and resell it and print money, make that money. You want to find a problem that no one else can solve and fix that and create money overnight. In some cases, especially with real estate, he showed some examples with that, or with businesses. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, so fun. Some great stories in there and really get you thinking like a rich person. Okay, Robert Kiyosaki has some others too. Rich Kid, Smart Kid. It's kind of a picture of it. Most of his books look like that. Cash Flow Quadrant. Basic understanding. He shows you how his rich dad taught a 9-year-old about income statements. So let's see if you can see that. But just some simple drawings and help you to start that financial education. So important. Investing in yourself and your knowledge and what you can do, what you understand. You won't be able to be ripped off as easily when you have an accountant, even if you don't like that end of the business. Not every business owner goes into business so that they can do accounting, right? But if you have a basic understanding of that, really necessary. But it's fun. Reading these books is fun. You can get an audiobook. Gosh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is even on YouTube for free. I think you can just listen to it there. I've hopped on there before and listened to part of it. Such a good one. Financial Fitness for Teens. That's a great, just basic financial literacy stuff. And it's interesting. It's for teens. It's not too hard of a read. E-Myth Revisited. That one's a little more complicated, but he tells some great stories, story form, and just gets you really thinking, why do I want to be in business and what parts of the business do I want to do and what do I need to think about? I put some already. I'll make up a list, but I already put some of Greg Denning's favorites on the list. And this is another good financial literacy. That's what it looks like. Whatever Happened to Penny Candy by Richard J. Mayberry. And just a really fast, fun explanation of economics, inflation, just basics you need to know for your career, your success, your business. This one's really great. All of his are good. Richard Mayberry's whole series are awesome. I'll show you this one. Personal Career and Financial Security. Goes over, and he just does it so clearly, succinctly, interestingly. Great stories. And goes over tons of things you need to know. What is success? Let's see. How to acquire a business, savings and investing, Social Security, real estate and debt, investment advisors, negative real interest rates, how to keep what you've earned. Good stuff, and it's so succinct. But he has this chapter in here, chapter 22, Making Your Model Work. And he talks about a lot of this you can get in high school or college, or just by independent study. And some of it, he says, you've got to do this on your own. This will be after time. And your high school and your college courses, you want to, he says this on almost all of them. There's some great teachers out there. There's some great courses, but you want to talk to them beforehand and make sure they're teaching what you want to know. So if they're just teaching you, all you got to do is to go to school, pass these courses. Maybe they might even, accounting classes might be teaching you to be a bean counter. Some people say in a derogatory term, but not understand it. you may want to look for someone else who has a broader view and a more entrepreneurial or business-minded business owner view, rather than just here's how to be an accountant for somebody else, but look at it from entrepreneurial stance. Okay, so in this chapter 22, he tells you what he thinks are very important things for your education, and just to work your way through them any way you can. So, jobs, internships. And he says, I would look at jobs or internships not as just a place to get money, but I would look at them as a course in study, learning. What can I learn from this? And Robert Kiyosaki shows this so great when he has, his rich dad has him work putting cans on a shelf for 10 cents an hour, which, maybe a couple dollars an hour was the adult going rate, maybe. Then probably around $1 to $2 is what he paid back then, his workers. So a kid working, maybe making 25 to 50 cents was okay, but he had him doing it for 10 cents an hour to kind of give him a taste of the real world, because in the real world, what you're earning at a job, trading your time for money, doesn't always get you, especially if it's a low-paying job without any schooling, doesn't get you the kind of comforts and things that you want, especially if you want a really amazing, great life and to do some awesome, incredible things. So they get really sick of it, and he takes them through a little course, and he asks them, okay, well, what if I paid you $1 an hour? What if I paid you $5 an hour? What if I paid you $10 an hour? So first he asks them to work for nothing and just to work to learn. And they get fed up with that. And he says, well, you can just go to a job and come home and not learn anything. What if I paid you $20 an hour, which was way more than most adults with college degrees made in that time? And they decided, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to work for $20 an hour. Even though that would give me a lot more money right now, I want to work for the education. I want to work to learn. So he took away the money and he paid them $0 an hour, and they worked for nothing. And they had to look and think of ways that they could earn money without making that income while they were working. So they actually did. They found a really cool way. So read the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and see what they did when they were 12, 13 to start making money when he was paying them nothing. Okay. He also says, this is back to Richard Maybury's book, Personal, Career, and Financial Security. He says business degree courses get a basic knowledge, working knowledge of these subjects. You don't have to actually go and major in that, but just a basic working knowledge of that. You don't have to earn the degree, but there's a lot of great classes in college that can help you get that basics. Accounting, same thing with that. Finance. Information from others is good on things like stocks, bonds, mortgages, commodities, CDs, insurances, but a lot of those financial experts, they don't understand the things he teaches in this series: geopolitics, economics, and how forces affect investments. So you need to learn those yourselves, not just rely on someone else and their information and what they say. A lot of the financial experts are really just, that's their job, is to sell you maybe a stock or something like that, and a CD, have you invest, and they get a little percentage of that. So that's their job. So you want to be able to know about opportunity costs and interest rates and all these different things so that you can be financially savvy and not just take someone else's word for it. Okay, personal selling face-to-face, very good. I also think online selling is really good. Both of those things, to know them inside and out, know that you can push through those insecurities we all have about being rejected and turned down, and you can go out and do it. And there's lots of great principles so you understand how you're helping someone when you're selling, selling a product obviously that you believe in, and kind of get rid of that stigma we have about salespeople. Okay, he's got such good things here, and you could take this book and just plan your education around these courses. Just start checking them off one by one. Advertising. And he gives some great books you can look to. One of them he's got in here is How to Write a Good Advertisement, a short course in copywriting. He also has one on that sounds so fun. I've got to check out about how to lie with statistics. So I think that's so you don't get fooled, right, by other people who do lie with statistics. Not so you learn to lie, but printing, photography, computer spreadsheets and databases, algebra. You don't need to be a whiz, but just some good basic knowledge of that. He gives you a couple books here. Business mathematics book, statistics, business law, and some of his are really good on that. Whatever Happened to Justice, public speaking, business writing, and then some of the subjects for self-study. And he tells you why in here, so read this because he's got such good explanations of why you would want this in your education. Geopolitics, that means world politics. That he says what happens in the economy is strongly influenced by politics, and national politics is strongly influenced by geopolitics. An example of the importance of geopolitics occurred in early 2003 when companies became reluctant to buy new equipment or hire workers, and investors became afraid to buy stocks because they were worried about President Bush invading Iraq. It was a considerable mess that drastically changed flows of money. In other words, events on the other side of the world often hit us in our wallets harder than events in our hometowns. Americans generally do not study geopolitics. Most probably don't even have the word in their vocabulary. So in the U.S., a knowledge of geopolitics can give you a sizable edge, as well as a lot of prestige if you want it. You will get a great deal of geopolitics as you read more of his books. And also, so he says Ancient Rome, the 1,000-Year War, World War I, and World War II. Those are the books that he writes about how those geopolitics affect you and why you need to know that. He also recommends The Economist magazine, and just being able to know the language and easily understand what's going on. Okay. Military affairs, and he tells you why, and a couple good books to learn that from. History of Warfare, The Complete Idiot's Guide to the U.S. Special Ops Forces. Constitutional Law, and a couple books there. Economics, Economic History, House Construction, and why you want just some basic home construction skills and knowledge, real-world experience. Automobiles, engines, guns, tools, and sports equipment, and also football. So he basically says you want to know enough of those to be able to carry on an intelligent conversation with people who talk about those things, right? So when you're in a social setting or a business setting and the guy you want to do a business deal with is into one of those things, you want to be able to know enough about them to get it, right? Team sports, let's see, the good things you can learn from those. Personal skills would be learning to smile and have an open, accepting manner, learning to shake hands confidently, dressing for success, manners and poise, vocabulary, meet people, make contacts and network, listening skills and reading body language, and debate. Another great source of where you're trying to focus your education and what you need to learn now. So important to learn it now and not when you have to support a family and have tons of bills to pay. But Oliver DeMille has the Hero Education book, and he has a list of the things that you want to make sure you cover, so you can have that basis set up so you can be successful in life. So super excited, tons and tons of good books. I'll put a list out for you so you have that. Pick some up, start thumbing through them, look through the index, read a couple chapters, find one that is exciting to you, one that sounds interesting, and start there. They're all good, and don't make it be a bore. It's not. These books are really interesting and they're fun, and when you start putting them into practice and building a business and then going and learning from your mentors and from these books, real world, how to solve those problems in your business, your growth is just going to skyrocket. So I'm so excited for that, so excited to see you can work on your missions and your purpose and be able to learn these basic skills so you can be successful and really make a difference in your life. So thanks. Go out there, go read.